Hey, welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you're a subscriber. I'm doing a little walkabout, and as you know, I'm always on this journey of personal healing and growth, and I want to talk about gratitude today. And not in the corny way, because I come from a tough background, and often the way that people frame gratitude, like in a real Oprah kind of way, doesn't work for me. It just didn't work for me. It actually made me more angry and more cynical. But I've just taken on some new strategies of making myself a happier and more well-adjusted human being. And I'm figuring out how to make the idea or find gratitude in my life that's more honest or more connecting. So the first thing was that yesterday I went to the dump. I'd never been to our local dump before, and let me preface this story by telling you that I work really, really hard at being a good person and probably giving a lot more than most people do. And it's just, I do that because, that's the world I want to live in. And I believe you have to exercise and be, not only who you want to be, but you have to teach by their action and not through just blah, blah, blah. So, when I got in the world, I'm extra friendly, which is always pretty funny these days because we live in such strange times. It's almost like psychologically medieval. And what I mean by this is when I'm really friendly to people out in public, especially at the grocery store, they always think I work there because how dare you be friendly or open or communicating unless you're being paid to. And every time that happens to me, it just breaks my heart. It makes me laugh, but honestly, it's really tragic. So I'm at the kids who live downstairs from us had to take a box spring and mattress, broken bed to the dump. So he's like, hey, yeah, we're doing some work on the house. Why don't you fill as much construction stuff in my truck and we'll go together, and split the fee. So we get to the dump, and the guy, you can imagine, it's not the best job in the world. So the guy's an older guy behind the glass, and he doesn't even make eye contact. He's like, address. And I'm like, oh, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, you're at the wrong dump. Wrong dump? Wrong dump, right dump? I mean, this was the closest place to my house. But it turns out that even though I'm part of the city of Santa Cruz, I'm not. I'm in unincorporated Santa Cruz. So instead of freaking out on the guy, because my my tenant, he was trying to get this done on his lunch hour. And here we got this, all this shit tied and piled on top of his truck, and it's full of just like messy, garbage. We're going to the dump. And instead of being an asshole and challenging the guy, the dump master, I just kind of went, well, I pay my taxes to Santa Cruz County. I just figured to come to the Santa Cruz dump. So, all right, whatever. And I just accepted it. I wasn't happy, but I wasn't pissy about it because this day and age, after what we just went through the last 4 years, where all the rules were basically, all the lies and all the rules were twisted and manipulated, I'm just going to follow the rules. I'm not going to feel entitled. I'm not going to make this guy miserable because he has to, follow rules. I'm going to be like, okay, my bad. I didn't know. Thanks, buddy. And as I turned to leave, he said, okay, it's okay. You can do it this time. And I was like, and then to make it even better, he only charged me $21. Now you have to understand, it is so expensive to have people haul your trash away here. And so it was like, yay, not only didn't have to drive another 40 minutes to an hour to go to the appropriate dump, but it was only $20. So this is where I found my gratitude. I'm like, wow, if there's such a thing as karma, I feel like I just experienced some karma. I deserve this. I deserve a little break, a little kindness. But the day wasn't over. It got better. More gratitude. So what happened next was I got a text. Sun had gone down, and I have to say, USPS, I don't know if you're experiencing it, but we have the worst mail delivery on the planet. I don't know what these dudes are smoking. I don't know if they're just overworked. I know they're underpaid, and they don't have very good benefits. But that being said, I feel like if you take on a job, you've made that choice. It's a personal choice, so do it well. Do anything you're going to commit to the best you can do it, because it's important for, personal growth and personal happiness. And if it's something that you're not into, well, don't commit to it and make other people suffer by doing a shitty job. But again, different times, different ideas. And sun went down. I get a text from my friend in Ohio, and he said, something's in the mail. Something's in the mail. And I thought that he meant that he got something that I sent him, because I got a notice that he had received 2 packages, little care packages I sent him, because he's kind of going through something right now. So I've been supporting him through, text and little gifts in the mail. And all of a sudden there's this commotion in the dark in the front of our house. And we live like at the top of the hill at the end of this 1/4-mile street, in the middle of nowhere, basically. So we had some friends here that don't speak English really well. And they ran in the house, and they're like, somebody's here, somebody's lost. So by the time I got my pants on and got outside, the kids who lived downstairs, the tenants, they were already out there because they had just come home. And it turned out that the package that my friend had actually sent me a package, and that's what the text was about. And the mailman delivered it to some complete random address, who knows, somewhere in the hills. And this kid took the time in the dark to bring the package to me. So, doesn't that restore your faith in humanity? And this was the crazy thing. The kid was stunning. I don't want to sound weird or anything, but he was like, could be in Hollywood. He had the body of like an Olympic athlete. Like, everybody noted like how physically superior this kid was. And he's driving like a brand new BMW hybrid. So all those stereotypes that we have about people that are like really great looking or wealthy, this kid had like demolished all of them as he took his time and energy to deliver this package to a complete stranger. And so 2 things: gratitude, because I felt awesome, just felt awesome and so fair that, not only did my friend send me this gift randomly, that this total stranger fixed the post office's possible sabotage of receiving that gift. And then just how great this kid, who's way overdeveloped. My God, if my son looked like that, I wouldn't let him leave the house until he was like 21. But high school, and took the time and his own initiative to bring that package to a total stranger. Totally restore my faith in humanity, and made me feel like, if you believe in karma, that I'm living life well, because I feel like I deserve that. And and also gratitude that there are good people out there that are doing the right thing and doing selfless things, and not without a shadow of benevolence. Do you know what that is? I just learned that term from a therapist. I love it. The shadow of benevolence is when people do kind things, but they actually have an ulterior motive. But this lovely young gentleman had no motives whatsoever. He was just raised right, and he was doing what we all should be doing, taking care of each other and doing the right thing and treating each other, the same way that we would hope to be treated. And yes, I have taken packages and redelivered them to people. And yes, People hike about 3 miles to get to my property from a local park, and often the elderly get lost. And it's kind of a dire situation because it's so hard for them to get here. It's not an easy flat hike, and sometimes it's like evening, like the sun's going down, and they're completely lost. And I can't tell them how to get back. It's just not going to work. So what do? Put them in my car. I can't tell you how many people I've driven back to their hotel because they got lost in the forest and popped out at my property. Okay, so that's my gratitude today. I am grateful. I'm grateful for the kindness of strangers. And so the whole purpose of the gratitude thing is we get so caught up in focusing, especially if you came from abuse or trauma, focusing on just the bad things in the world. You watch the news, it's purposely full of a lot of negative stuff because sadly, they've shown that people don't want a bunch of positive stuff. It doesn't keep their attention because the majority of people come from some kind of trauma or abuse and they are addicted to it. It's like we have to have the chemicals. We have to have these chemicals that eventually break down your body and make you sick because they're stress chemicals. So I am grateful for this human kindness. And next time when I catch myself focusing on how terrible people are and how terrible the world is, and I've stopped watching the news, by the way, but if I'm watching the news or caught up in a story, I'm going to remember these 2 times that somebody was kind to me and just randomly did something just to be good people. Because guess what? The whole world isn't crap, and everyone isn't terrible, and all humans aren't terrible. It's just the lens you're using. It's the lens you're using, and I've been using the wrong lens for a long time, and it hasn't been good for me, hasn't been good for my career, hasn't been good for my health, and I'm working diligently at changing my lens now. Okay, take care of yourselves and take care of each other. If you like my random videos, organic gardening, art, and other things, please subscribe. It helps. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other. I believe how we treat each other in the streets is our ultimate reality.